Recently, I spent close to $1,000 upgrading my PC. Why? Because I'm a Maple addict, of course. And this game is consuming too much resources, so I needed more. Jokes aside though, one morning I woke up and I tried to turn on my computer. That's probably close to I think 10 years old at this point, and it wouldn't boot into Windows 7. I took it to a computer shop and the technician told me it was an issue with my motherboard, which if you guys know anything about motherboards failing, especially the old ones, means I have to replace almost everything else. The newer motherboards do not fit the older components, especially the CPU and RAMs. I took this as an opportunity to replace most of my computer parts altogether and make an upgrade, and the results were absolutely incredible. Now, because this is a MapleStory channel, I'm going to talk about how this upgrade impacted my MapleStory experience. First, the boot times. Booting into my computer operating system, Windows 10 at this point, was extremely fast. Back then, it used to take over 30 seconds to boot into Windows, but now it took less than 10 seconds. A similar effect applied to booting into MapleStory. It used to take close to 3 to 5 minutes to completely get past the login and channel selection screen and into the game, but guess how long it takes now? If you guess 2 minutes, you're wrong. Now it takes less than 2 minutes. I would say it's close to 1 minute to get into the game after pressing play. Most of these speed increases probably came from the NVMe SSD upgrade from a traditional SSD that I used to have, which basically increases the loading times of games and operating systems, whatever else is on that drive. Here are some specs on how fast NVMe is compared to the old SSD. Next, load times. Loading times after a game is booted up is crazy fast as well. I really noticed it when I changed channels and maps. Back then, changing channels and maps would take over 5 to 10 minutes, but now it takes less than 5 seconds. It's extremely noticeable every time I change channels. I also noticed it going into boss maps. I used to be the last one to load into any given boss map, but now I usually load into it dumb fast. I'm the first one into the map and everyone else is still in the air and lagging for a full 3 seconds before they can start moving. I also noticed it heavily during bursts. Back then, during Black Mage runs, when everyone would burst at the same time, I would lag like crazy. I couldn't even send any attacks out in phase 1. Now, during full burst, the lag doesn't seem to exist to me at all. It's crazy. It's seriously insane how good this is. I believe this is mostly due to the CPU and motherboard upgrades, since I heard MapleStory is a CPU heavy game. My graphics card didn't change at all, but I did change my RAM sticks and they do have a faster speed compared to my old ones. The old ones were DDR3 compared to the newer DDR4 now, so there's obviously going to be some speed changes there. I left my power supply alone as well, since that didn't seem to be an issue and it seems to be working fine. Don't fix what isn't broken, essentially. In summary, here's everything I changed: CPU, SSD drive, motherboard, and RAM. Everything together gave me such an incredible performance boost that I just am absolutely in shock every time I turn on my PC and play MapleStory at how much better my Maple experience has gone compared to before. It's also very nice when I'm doing video editing to not lag like crazy in MapleStory, when just before I was lagging like 1 frame per second type of crazy. That's all for this video. If you guys want to support the channel and receive exclusive badges and shoutouts, be sure to hit that join button below. Check out these videos here next for my latest uploads.